What's up guys, Prince Boy here, back with another video. And today I just wanted to discuss why Cars 2 was a critical bomb. So let's get right into it. Let's get one thing out of the way, right? In terms of in the view of the audience, Cars 2 was a great movie, right? You know, kids loved it. I mean, when I saw it in the theaters, I was like 7 or 8 years old, loved it. And I didn't even think twice about it, right? Now, looking back, I've become more of a critic. So I'm just gonna say what I think is the reason behind it not doing so well with the critics. So first off, I think it's because of the first Cars movie. The reason people really loved, and critics and people alike loved Cars 1 was because it focused on cars and what cars do. Cars represent freedom, speed, racing, all that, And in Cars 1, it was all about racing. It was all about racing, really, and that's why a lot of people love that movie, and that's why that was a good idea for Pixar to do that movie, because it was a unique idea, right? And then I guess in the view of a critic, Cars 2 is kind of throwing that all away, because basically what Cars 2 is, it turns the Cars movies into it makes it more apparent that it's like a human world with cars in it, There's spy and espionage and all villains and blah blah blah. So instantly the whole plot becomes more complicated and not as simple as the Cars movie. And I think with Pixar, what they're able to do is with all their good movies, really good movies, have a simple plot with a big punch, And then with Cars 2, they're doing a lot of things, at whole different levels, if you know what I mean. So that's probably one reason, right? And then also the other reason, this is also part of them not including that much racing scenes into the movie, and that is Mater has kind of turned into the main character, in essence. Now, Pixar won't admit this, right? But that's really what happened. Mater is getting more screen time. The whole story is about Mater. McQueen is truly really in the background, and McQueen's all about the racing, right? So, and there isn't that much racing scenes in the movie. Obviously there is, but then they're all part of the background, It in reality, it's all the the espionage story, about the lemons, about the spies and all that. And people say that Cars 2 is a glorified Mater's Tall Tales. And I mean, in a way, it kind of is, but I think we should give Pixar a pass on this one, because look, with Cars 1, they made a really good movie, right? They made a good movie, and with Cars 2, they're really just expanding on Cars 1, as in they're expanding the Cars universe, the Cars world, Okay? And instead of really kind of making the same movie again. Because if you think about it, you can't do too much with cars and racing, right? Because you could just make a movie like Cars 1, right? So, I mean, they had to go somewhere. They had to make a sequel because Cars was a successful movie. The merchandise brought them so much money. I mean, in fact, right now, Cars is either number 1 or number 2 in the most expensive merchandise, as in it's worth $10 billion or something like that. You know, that's like right up there with the Star Wars merchandise. So really, cars in general is a very cashable thing for Pixar, you know? So they obviously have to take advantage of that. And Pixar, we know that they do not try to make really, how should I say this? Low quality movies, right? And I mean, they tried their best with that in Cars 2. And for the everyday moviegoer, Cars 2 was a really good movie. Like the scenes, it was beautiful, right? All the racing, and I mean, I personally loved it. It was great. So, yeah, I guess that's it. So really, I think we should just like give, in terms of in terms of critically looking at the movie, we should give it a pass for not doing as well. So yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.